Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, because mine, it's saying it's unstable. I don't know what's going on. We must have a storm or something around here.
It's a golden time for me.
Good, good. All right, so we got Andre Acosta and we got Kim on. So we're picking up some more. It's a little slow on a Monday, right?
No problem, Norman. Let me pull this up also to make sure I have everything on the stuff. Let's see here. Yes, yes. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. Can't wait to hear it. Can't you just took a great listing, right?
Yes, 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 yes. It was yes.
How did you get that listing?
That was a referral.
Oh, good.
That was a referral.
The
Then
best.
Those
yeah,
are the best.
yes, yes. I've been like a secret agent for a while, so I just decided not to be. I just talk to people all the time. I did an open house yesterday also, just for my brokers also, and yeah, I got two leads on that. There's a one person uh relocating from San Diego to the Bay Area.
How long did you hold your open house for?
For 3 hours.
Oh,
3 hours,
that's long.
and
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
two
one,
leads.
two, four. But yeah, Sunday was a little slow, so I had a two buyer actually, one two stuff. But then rest of the time I just getting my stuff done, making calls.
All right. Can everybody hear Ed okay? I hear him.
Very okay.
All
Yep.
right. All right.
Uh,
Well, let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead. Tell us a little about yourself, Edward.
sure. I am located in the Bay Area, California, Northern California. I cover a county in Santa Clara County, but also I cover adjacent county, San Mateo County, which is Stanford University, is all the way to San Francisco, which is about an hour apart. Basically, I cover the whole the Bay Area from South Bay all the way to San Francisco.
All right. So we got way on the West Coast, the Bay Area. I'm sure he'll put his phone number in there so everybody can see. So you can call him when you have a referral. And we have
Absolutely.
Alexana. We have Alexana as the seller. So Ed's going to be the agent. Alexana is clear on the other coast. Tell us about
Yeah, I am in New York. So obviously it's, 12 o'clock here. So I actually work on Long Island and Queens, Brooklyn, and I do work a bit in Manhattan. So I cover the whole area there. A little bit further, because depends on, I go to other areas like Westchester. Generally they don't go up, but once it's like I tend to go out an hour, so like that's 40 minutes an hour. But so I tend to do Westchester. I've started doing that also.
Great, great. So what's your average sales price there in Long Island?
Long Island, well, it depends. Brooklyn, your average sale price probably would be 1 million. Long Island, probably about 600. If you go all the way out to Suffolk, you might get something for five. Queens, it's about, I want to say 900. So that's our average price point.
Wow.
It
And I
might
know
seem a lot, but it's very expensive to live here in New York. So,
sure, sure.
that's, rental is expensive, to get a one bedroom apartment, it's probably like 2,500.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah.
And Ed's sales price there in the Bay?
Uh, Depending on the zip code, you're probably around 1.3 for single family home.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are comparable in the higher area.
Yeah.
Definitely. This will be an interesting presentation. Okay,
Yes, yes,
so Ed,
absolutely.
Alexana, you got Alexana's phone number, so we know where to send referrals to. And Ed, we're still wondering where he is.
Okay, I try to figure. I usually log in on from my cell phone, and I try to figure out where to put my information here.
You can
Do I
put it in the
press
chat or just put it up there. That's cool.
sure,
Just tell us your phone number.
sure 408-691-5432. I'd love to have a referral. I will close it for you and send the 25% referral fee on your way.
Ooh, that's a nice referral fee for $1 million. So guys,
Yes.
you listening? That's a chunk.
Just 25?
25.
Yeah. You don't go up, even if you get a pre-approved, ready to buy client. Because I
Well,
usually do 35 to 30.
I
we
open
only
to
work with pre-approval buyers. No
Yeah,
other way.
I always open to conversation, so not a problem. Don't let money stop the deals, okay?
You write it down.
Absolutely, brother.
All right. So where are we going to start today? Are we going to start on the prequal or are you going to go at the door?
Oh, that's a good question, huh? We talked about it, so we did a quick call stuff. Actually, how about let's just start at the door? How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Are you going to do any slideshow of the comps? Because you had said
Sure, yes. How do I do that? Share my screen.
Yeah, go to share and it'll come up and then I'll allow it. Go ahead. Hit share at the
Okay.
bottom, the tool.
The tool bottom, I don't see. I see more. Let me see that. Okay, hold on. Let me see the share. Okay, share. I see that share. Okay, send request.
Okay, yes, allow. Okay.
And do I just drag this to? How do I do?
You just click up on the top where it says share screen.
Top.
Do you see that? Or maybe on the bottom in yours. I don't know.
Oh yes, I see that. Okay, perfect, perfect.
Okay, so click it and we'll let you know if we can see it. Or do you want to start there? Not yet.
Okay, okay, share. I see what you mean. Okay. Open system said. Okay. Okay, okay. I need to. I have to allow the system to that because I never share this on my screen. Sorry, hold on.
Whoop.
Do you see it?
Well, I did, but I was clicking mine at the same time, so I wasn't sure. It says, let's see, participant can now see your screen. I can see my screen, and I don't want to share my screen. I just want to see your screen.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Can you see mine now? Or no?
No.
Hmm.
Can you see yours?
I can see mine. Yes.
So click on the one that you want to highlight.
Okay. There are 3 documents. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. How will I do that? Okay. Let me do again. Share. Share screen. Okay, let me highlight this one. Do you see it?
No.
Share. Okay, hold on. I see. I think I know with that. Let me highlight all 3 of them. Do you have to share one by one?
I
Okay,
think
let me
so.
share this. Okay, okay,
But
hold on.
hit share. There we
Okay,
go.
now, okay, got it. Do you see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the subject property.
Okay, great. Alexana, is that your house?
Yeah, that's my house.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Alexander. Okay, so door knock. Okay. Hello, Alexander. Thank
Hello,
you.
Ed.
Yes, thank you for meeting me. I'm so excited to get your property on the market and get it sold. Okay. May I take a look at your home?
Yeah, I'll show you around.
Okay, absolutely. As a matter of fact, here is some document, my marketing plan for you to look at. If you don't mind, I would love to see your home from the eyes of buyer. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, but I think I'd like to walk around with you. I don't
Oh, you'd
really
like
know
to love
you.
that? Absolutely. Please, please do so. Go ahead.
Alrighty. So take a look around. If you have any questions, I'm right here. You can ask me.
Of course, of course. And I know this is a three-bedroom, two-bath. When was the last time you updated your home?
Well, as you can see, it's, a lot of things have been updated, not, 5 years or so, but it's still very updated in very good condition.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have done a fantastic job to this home, Alexander. So great. What's your favorite part of your home?
My kitchen, I love to cook and entertain. I have an open concept here, so I love the kitchen and the, TV room together.
Great. I'm sure the next buyer would love that feature also. Okay.
I think
And
so.
I know you want to sell this home and assume you want to sell this home for the highest price and with the least amount of hassle. Is that correct, Alexander?
Exactly. That's why, I'm reselling again because we got a lot of lowball offers. So, I want the
You
most money
you got a
possible.
lowball offer. So sounds like you're looking for the assertive agent who can get you the best offer. Is that right, Alexander?
Exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm ready to work for you. Are you ready to put me to work, Alexander?
Well, let's see what you bring to the table. I have another agent that I'm interviewing, so let's see what you have to say and what he has to say, and then we'll go from there.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I'm committed to getting you the highest price. Okay. So
That's what
should
I
we
want
move
to
to the
hear.
kitchen to talk?
Yeah, absolutely. This is my favorite place in my house, so come on, let's have a seat at the table.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Alexander, I wrote down three really important questions for you. Okay. Number one, do you absolutely have to sell your home?
Well, as I told you, I'm moving to Florida. I definitely want to sell. I mean, it's not like, I'm going to be homeless. So if it doesn't sell, I don't get my price, I'm not going to give it away, but ultimately it's going to sell. I
I
know.
can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. Well, will you price your home to sell, or do you want to keep the home on the market for a long period of time,
No,
Alexander?
I don't want to keep it on the market. I mean, I've already been on the market 6 months. So that didn't work out. It's very frustrating. So yeah, I am looking to
Six
get it
months. I
sold.
totally understand that. And Alexander, do you want me to handle the sale for you?
Well, I don't know you. I don't know what you do, what you bring to the table. So let's see what, you have to say.
Okay, that sounds fair. That sounds fair. So, Alexander, at the end of our meeting, three things may ha happen. Okay, number one, you will have opportunity to list a home with me. Will that be great?
Well, again, as I said, let's see what you bring to the table.
Yes, yes, I totally understand that. And then also, you may decide not to list your home with me, right?
Okay.
Or I would decide not to take your listing if I don't feel like I can help you. Well, any of these will be okay. Would that work for you?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, absolutely great. So let's quickly take a moment and review the question I asked you over the phone. Would that be okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you said that you're moving to Florida, right?
Yes,
And you said you were moving there because you're retiring and you don't want to pay any more California taxes. Is that correct?
exactly.
Okay, awesome. And you said you wish you had moved there last month. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we
Okay,
were
very
hoping.
good. And you said you would like to sell your home at $1.8 million. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. And you told me you only owe 400,000 on this property. Is that
yes,
right? Okay,
exactly.
excellent. And so I'm curious, you're not planning to sell yourself, are you?
No, I don't want to sell myself. I don't want to deal with that.
Terrific, terrific. And obviously, you want all your money out when you sell, and so you can put money on your next home in Florida. Is that correct?
Yeah, I want all my money out.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. I'm so excited for you, Alexander. So, fortunately, there are two issues we're to talk about. One is your motivation to sell your home, right? The next one is the price we sell your home. So, obviously, sounds like you want to sell the home. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, right?
Yes, exactly. That's right.
Okay, very good. So, there's only one thing we're to talk about is the price, right? So I have prepared what we call a comparative market analysis, okay, for you to review. There's two parts to it. One is what I call a fantasy land. That is what sometimes some owner list a home for. Sometimes they sell. Most of the time, they just sell the market. Okay. There's another part is what called a reality. That's when motivated seller like you combining with a professional agent like me, okay, list home and get property sold. Okay, are you with me?
Yeah,
Okay,
all
awesome.
yours.
So, so our job as a team today is decide where we're gonna spend time. Fair enough?
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So the comparative market analysis is to determine the value of your home in the eyes of a buyer. Are you familiar how buyer determine value, Alexander?
Well, I mean, from what the other agent said, it's marketing and pricing, and we did that, but obviously it didn't sell. So,
Okay, I can totally understand. So as you know, buyers determine value by comparison shopping, right? You shop. So they look at the price of your home based on the feature and the benefits, and they're compared with the feature and the benefits of home that have been sold or currently still on the market. Does that make sense?
yeah, makes sense.
Okay, just for example, I saw the car outside parking. It's a really nice BMW, right? Let's say you go to the dealership shopping for another BMW. Okay, dealer A, let's say have a nice. What's your favorite color?
White.
White. Okay, it has a white, pearl white. Okay, BMW, right? For $75,000. Of course, as a smart shopper as you are, you're probably shopping around, right? You will go to dealer B. You will see the same car for 75,000. However, the dealer B has a fantastic entertainment system, okay, with a specialized customer rim, okay? Everything together for $75,000. In that case, which car would you choose?
Obviously B.
Oh, why is that exactly?
Well, they offer more, more for the money.
Okay, more for the money. Fantastic. I would do the same thing, right? Let's say the dealer A call you back. Say, Alexander, we like you. Okay, we're gonna put this car for sale. Okay, instead of $75,000, they could have gave you for 50,000. Okay, so at that point, 50,000, no rims, no entertainment system, 75,000. Which one would you choose?
Well, I mean, that's a big difference from 75,000 to 50,000, I
Yes.
mean, how much is an entertainment center? Maybe I can just buy it for 50,000 and, you know, put in my own entertainment center. So yeah, 50,000 is a huge difference.
It's a huge difference, right? So you will pick 50,000 over 75,000, right? And then you can do this entertainment and the rim on your own, correct? To
Exactly.
save a lot of money. Okay. You're
Absolutely.
absolutely, I would do the same thing. So you can see if you want to increase value, you either have to lower the price or you need to put a lot more feature and the benefits for the same price. Did that make sense?
Yeah, does make sense.
Okay, very good. So, unless you want to add more feature benefits to your home, are you, by the way?
Well, there's nothing to add. I mean, you could see my house is beautiful and, everything's updated and nothing's old. So there's really nothing, that they would need to add or change, in my opinion.
Excellent, excellent. So, in that case, the price is the only issue we need to talk about to get your home sold. Can I show you what I mean?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, absolutely. So, let me show you what it is right here. Okay, okay, let me show you another comp. Okay, how do I share it? Okay, sorry guys, I don't know how to share the other comps right here. Hold on a second.
Might have popped up on another window, so you'll have to select that window.
Okay, hold on a second. All right.
There
Do
you
you
go.
see that?
There you go.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so Alexander, is the one of the comparative or market analysis I prepared for you.
Okay.
Okay, do you see the address 1152 Kerner Avenue?
Yes.
Okay, this is less than 0.2 mile from where you at right now. Your address is 1001 Kerner Avenue. Okay, this is 1152 the corner lot. It was listed in December 4th. Did you see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it was sold in January 27th, right? And this has a 4 bedroom, 2 bath, okay, with 21 square foot. Okay, and it's sitting on the lot of 7,500, almost 74, similar to yours. And this home is bigger than yours, a little bit bigger. Yours is 1745. Okay,
And they have 4 bedrooms.
4 bedroom, 2 bath. Yours is 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and then they are sold a little over a month. Okay, so let's take a look at the price. It was listed for
They were over
1.68.
a month, you're saying? They were there.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
right. So they listed December 4th, and they had a offering coming in January, and they just closing in February. It was listed for 1.688 and sold for that price. Okay, same street.
And what's the condition you said?
What the
compared to-
condition? Okay, the condition they remodeled 3 years back. Okay, but the condition is similar to yours, a little bigger. Okay, but
Okay.
your home is the craftsmanship is a little better than theirs.
Right.
Okay, but they are bigger. They're almost 400 square feet more than yours.
Okay, I see that.
Okay, you see that. Great. And let me show you another one. Okay, do you see this one?
Yes.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, do you guys see Pasco Avenue? No.
Yeah, I see Pasco Avenue, 1127 Pasco Avenue.
Okay, do you guys see that also?
Yeah, I've got
Okay,
you.
very awesome. So this is another comparative market analysis I pulled for you. This is on the quiet street behind 1152 Kerner Avenue. Okay, still with 0.2 miles within your home. Okay, do you see the home? How much was listed for before they?
Yeah, 1899.
What is that? Correct? And they listed one and they didn't sell, and then they had to reduce to how much?
I see it 1699.
1699. And look at it. They how many bedroom they have?
I don't think I can see how many bedrooms they have.
Hold on a second. Let me get that information for you.
I mean, you don't have to move it if, you could just tell me. Do I see 2 bathrooms there? Is that it?
Yes. This is a 3 bedroom, 2 bath.
Okay.
The square footage was 1796, almost 1800.
Okay.
Okay, and then okay, so they were listed for 1.899, but no offers. So in order to sell Within 30 days, they reduced to 1.699, and it's on a quieter street.
And how long did they take to sell?
Okay, that's exactly they did. So they listed February 18th, and they got a first offer on March 26th. So a little over 30 days.
Okay. So that took about a month to sell
A
also.
month after they made a huge price reduction
Yeah,
to
that's a lot.
1.699. Yes, a lot, right? But
Oh,
they
that's
get
huge.
an offer and they get it sold.
But why do you think they took it's so low? I mean, they could have waited a little bit more and got a better offer. It's 200,000. Maybe they were in a rush to move, or they had to sell right away, because that's a
Well,
big discount.
yes, I talked to the listing agent also because they did not attract any inquiry at all by listing at a 1.899. So after 2 weeks, no phone calls, no inquiries,
Hmm.
they make a swift decision to reduce to a market price, a realistic market price in order to get it sold.
Okay.
This is what a experienced agent does because
Okay.
every time, every day on the market without any movement, it doesn't do well to the listing, obviously, right?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Okay, absolutely. So based on what you see, what do you think, how much do you think you would list your home for, should?
Well, you see how much I had it there for,
Yes, yes.
which was
So, mhm.
yeah.
Okay. But in this instance, remember the car example I gave you? Obviously, we want to create value in the eyes of a buyer. Do you agree?
Yeah, of course, but I'm seeing, I get that, the lot size is different. I do think that, my home is might be, as you said, a lot of different finishes that are expensive finishes, so
Mm-hmm.
that should count for something.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. You did a great job for the home. But let me ask you this. Did you remodel this for your own enjoyment or for the next buyer?
well, for my enjoyment, just like the others did. So, I think
Okay.
uh, charge a little bit. So let me ask you, what would you suggest that I list it at?
This is the
Because
great
I
question.
have an idea,
Hmm.
but you're telling me that that's not the price I should list it for. So what would you recommend?
That is a great question. Tell you what, I'm writing this down on the back of my hands right now. Okay. I will show you just a minute. And you can tell me exactly what you have. I will show you what I have. How's that? Based on what you see, the two comparisons. Okay. And obviously, remember, you want to be moving to Florida in the next 30 days, right?
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, as I said, I had planned on moving, you know, before the summer started. So
Absolutely, absolutely. And we
never
also want to
happened.
create the value in the eyes of buyer, correct?
Exactly. Well, you're the expert. And again, as I said, I had a different idea in mind of what it was worth. So now I'm a bit, not happy with what you're saying here. So just go ahead and let me know what your idea is,
Not a
because
problem. I
I am
have this,
lost.
absolutely. I have the number in my palm right now. Let me ask you a question. If you can guess right for $1 million, okay, on the price any buyer wants to pay for your home, what price would that be?
So you're saying this one was sold for 1.7 and the other one sold for how much?
Okay, the other one is sold for 1.688.
1.688. So you're saying that they both sold for around the same price point.
But same one. But the one for 1.6A is 2,100 square feet. Okay, on the same street as yours. Okay, just north of yours. Okay, about zero point 0.2 miles. It's not far. On the corner lot, same lot size but bigger.
So why don't we do this? Because that's a real big jump for me to list it at that price. So let's list it at 1/8, and then let's see what activity we get.
Okay, I totally understand.
And
So,
before I proceed though, let me because this other agent didn't get it sold. So what are you gonna do to get it sold?
oh, this is actually a very good question. So you want to know how what I do to get
Yeah,
you
what are you
so
gonna
okay,
do to make it
absolutely.
happen?
This is a very fair question. So do you know the difference between the active and the passive agent?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Never heard of that before.
never heard of it. Okay, exactly. Let me tell you what. So a passive agent, just like what your last agent did, they would put an open sign on your alarm, put on the MS, and they just folding their arm and hoping some buyer will magically show up. That's what a passive agent would do. I am active and aggressive agent. What I would do is after signing this your listing agreement with you, I will pick up my phones, and calling all the agents on the town and going through all the Rolodex and let everybody knows that your home is listed, is ready for sale. And every day. And by the way, here is my working schedule. You can see from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I'll be on the phone every day. And I can give you update in the afternoon of all the activities, okay, I created and also attraction. And if you want to talk to me, I will probably prefer you call me in the afternoon because in the morning I'll be busy talking to people. Okay. This is how I get home sold.
So that's what you do different is make phone calls.
Not just make any phone calls, I will make calls to agents I know, okay, consistently every day until I get you the best offer. I don't let chance to stand in my way. I create opportunities. That
Okay.
sounds good to you?
Yeah, alrighty. I mean, so you're saying, so why don't we do this as I said, we can list it at 175 and then we'll see what activity we get. But I would say I'm not listing it for any lower than 175.
Okay. No, I totally understand. I can appreciate that. But can I show you what damage would I do if you do that 1.75?
What damage? What do you
Okay.
mean?
Yes. The disadvantage of damage is if you list at this market, if you list a home that's way above the market value, no people is gonna show up to see your home. May I show you this home again? Hold on a second. Did you see on the Pascal activities, right? Did you see when how much it was first listed for?
A 1.9, 1.899?
1.9, right? And how much they reduced price to?
Yeah, 1.699.
1.699. And did you see that how many bedroom they have?
Yeah, just like mine, they have 3.
Okay, 3. And how many bathroom?
Just like mine, they have 2.
Okay, and what's the square footage?
1796.
1796, right? And how soon you say you want to move to Florida?
Well, as I said, I was hoping to be there already.
How been already? So you want a quick action, correct? You want people at your door looking at the home and submit offers, correct?
Of course, yeah. I don't want to go
Okay,
through that again and listen it for 6 months.
absolutely, absolutely. So
So,
you see that home was listed for. So this is what the pricing will generate activities. Do you agree?
what price are you saying that will I should list it for if I want to list it for 175?
Okay. At this moment, I would suggest you list it for 1.6.
1.6?
Yes, 1.6 to get you to Florida.
Why 1.6?
Oh, that's a great question. So again, let's look at the comp one more time. Okay. On the comp two, this has a similar square footage, correct? Everything the same. Three bedroom, 3 bath.
Yeah.
However, it's on a quieter street. You're on Kerner is a busy 4-lane street. On the Pasco is a quieter street, right? You've probably been in the neighborhood, correct?
Yes,
It's
exactly.
very quiet. It's a tree line. So you have to make small adjustments for the heavy
Right.
traffic for the location of yours in order to generate interesting buyer. But also, don't be too concerned about the listing price. Okay, listing price is just only the tool we use to attract buyers. With my negotiation abilities, okay, I will capture the buyer and find the best price for you. Listing price is only the tool we use to get the buyer into your door, looking at your home, and start making offers. Does that make sense to you?
So you're saying basically that if I price it lower, that will attract buyers to my
Yes,
house?
yes, absolutely, right? I want to see all the buyers coming to see your home instead of your competitions,
Mhm.
right? The whole purpose is we want to create value in the eyes of buyer. So they were determined to buy yours instead of a competition. Does that make sense to you, Alexander?
I hear what you're saying. You're asking me to reduce it extremely. It's a big jump. But again, as I said, I want to get it sold and I want to be realistic, but I'm not going to price it at that. Let's price it at 165. And then we can go from
165.
there.
Okay, that's I can totally appreciate. So it sounds like right now the $50,000 delta is the you consider from signing the contract with me. Is that correct?
Well, again, as I said, I do have another agent. I do want to hear what they have to say. So, I do want to list it. I think we agree. I want to list it at 165. I'm not going to go there. We'll see what activity we get, and then we can go from there.
Okay, not a problem.
So,
Not a problem. I can totally understand that. So again, let me ask you this.
yeah.
If you are a buyer, I'm sure you will be buying home in Florida once you relocate, correct?
Yeah, I
Okay.
am.
And let's say if you look at a home in Florida, one home for 1.6, right? On the busy street, and another home, okay, with same feature, same fit in the same maneuver, but in a quieter street, okay?
Mhm.
So one is a 1.65 on the busy street, another one is 1.6 on the quieter street. No traffic, you don't have to worry about it. Which one would you choose?
Well, don't you think then they'll take a look at mine and see, all the different finishes I have, and that can be, I live here, and there's a few other people that live obviously in the block, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
really an issue for me. So someone might like a little bit more of an active street.
Possible, that is possible. Anything is possible, right? But our goal here is get you to Florida in what, as little time as possible. Is that correct?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yes. And do you want the $50,000 to prevent you from going to Florida in 30 days, or you want to rather wait for 60 to 90 days, or you not even get an offer? So I actually want you to rather to reject the offer, right? Than not getting off at all. Our goal here is create a frenzy about your listing, right? Then
So
we
why
can,
don't we do this? We'll do the 1625, and then we'll see after a few weeks what happens.
I can definitely appreciate that. 1.625, it is a pretty reasonable price, okay? From your 1.8. However, did you see again, how soon do you want to be in Florida, Alexander?
Well, I do want to be there already. As I said, I'm not under the gun. When I get I'm moving there, I'm retired, or I just want to move there. Obviously, as I said, taxes are high. California has changed a lot. So, but again, I'm not under the gun that I have to get out of here, because I still feel that You know, that one there in 1127, 25, 27, you know, that was a big jump. So let's do it for 1625. It's not a big difference. And then we'll go from there.
I totally understand. Yeah, the 25,000 doesn't sound a huge difference.
Exactly. So then
Right. I
let's sit for
agree.
that.
However, let's look at this. Who's going to buy a home? We need to remember again, our goal here is to create value in the eyes of buyers. Is that correct?
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying, like, I have a lot of different finishes that were expensive finishes, and I'm quite sure there's some buyer who's going to appreciate that. So you know,
Absolutely.
that
That's a
was
great
something you would
thinking.
have to market differently and say, you know, the other finishes are, I know that you said that they renovated like 3 years ago, but there's nice and, you know, clean, but mine has, you know, I went the extra distance and created all these different with all these expensive finishes.
I agree. I totally agree with you, and I can appreciate that you did such a good job to your home. So that's exactly what we want to price at 1.6. May I explain?
Yeah, I know you explained already in terms
Yes.
of how we're going to do that. But you know what? I do have another agent I'm interviewing, so I'm going to hear what he has to say, and then I'll make my decision there.
Not a problem. I can appreciate that. I appreciate that. So the key again is to create value, right? So by pricing at a 1.6, we attract all the buyers coming here, especially when they see what a finishing you have done to the job. Can you imagine the value we create in the eyes of a buyer if we do that? And from that point, we create an auction fed because people think this is a great value they can go let buy, right? So we can generate multiple offers to sell your property. This is our goal here. Again, the listing price is only the tool we are using right now to get multiple offer for you. Isn't that exciting?
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, if I listed at that price, you can guarantee me that I can get that because I'm not going to take anything less than.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
So you
Again,
can guarantee me you're going to get the 1.6.
absolutely. Look at the comp. That's what comps telling us right now. That's what we're doing as a team together to create value to get you sold so you can move to Florida in no time,
So
right?
and you also said that we'll price it low and attract more buyers. So that
Exactly.
means that, so that sounds like it means that we will get more than the 1.6.
Well, this is we are could be. This is actually our work diligently to get for you, and that's exactly you want to work with me, aggressive, experienced agent to get the price you want in the time you want. Won't that be
Okay.
great?
Well, I'm gonna let you know I'm not gonna take anything less than the 1.6. If you want to
Of
list the 1.6, I hear what you have to say. I think what sounds appealing to me is that you said I can price low and we can get an auction effect, which will give me more than the 1.6.
Absolutely. We need to price fair, correct?
Okay.
Based on the market analysis we see, so we can get you to Florida in the time you want. So,
Okay.
how you spell your last name, Alexander?
Well, as I said, I have another agent that's coming, so we can, you know, I'll call you back tomorrow and let you or him know what my decision is.
Oh, not a problem. I can do that for you. As a full service agent, as a part of my service, how about this? Let me call the agent you're gonna meet. I'm gonna tell them that they are
But
great.
again, I want to
However,
hear what they have to say in terms of how they're going to sell the house,
oh,
or if
not a
they
problem.
suggest
Not,
I should price it at 1.6.
1.6. Because again, let me ask you this. Are you confident that I can sell your home?
Well, it seems like you could, you know what you're talking about for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's nothing to think about anymore, right? Let's sell your home and move to Florida. I'm so excited. So here's a pen. Let's just
Well,
sign
the
a
thing is, I
contract.
felt like I was on the market for 6 months, and that agent, I didn't interview any other agent. I just hired that agent. That's why I feel like there's so many agents calling me now that maybe, you know, it makes sense for me to hire somebody. I mean, you know, speak with someone else so I can make sure that I making the right decision.
I appreciate that. I definitely can appreciate it. It sounds like you're a smart woman, right? In your gut feeling, do you feel that I, Edward, can sell your home?
Yeah, I mean, you sound knowledgeable in terms of what you have to offer and, in terms of how you're going to market
Okay,
it.
that's very good. So, Alexander, do the right thing. Trust your gut feeling. Let's sign a contract and put me to work.
So how long is this contract for?
Okay, the contract is for 6 months.
But you said you can sell it in a month, so let's do 3 months. I'll
Let's
give
do
you
3 months.
plenty of
You know
time.
what? I can appreciate because this my if I up to me, I would definitely sign for 3 months, but my company requires a 6 month a standard contract. But how about this? If I would put a language in the contract, if you don't like what I do, if you don't think I deliver my promised service, you can cancel the contract anytime you want. How does that sound to
Okay,
you?
I like that.
Okay,
That sounds
very
good.
good. And how you spell your last name?
Martins, Martins.
Martina. Here you go. Here's a pen. Sign the contract.
Okay.
Put me
All
to
righty.
work. Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. All righty. Well, I didn't know if she was going to give it to you, Edward.
I
Well,
love
he
it.
and I talked, and he said, let's just do it. He goes, because,
Yeah. I told her to make it as real as possible because I'd
yeah.
rather feel in front of you guys than the sellers, right? So yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So he said, so I was like, all right, let me give him, a little bit of a challenge.
Well, that's good.
Absolutely. I
That's
love that.
good.
You did a
You,
great
you
job.
you handled those good. You kept going back to the motivation, kept
Yeah.
going back to the comps. You lost a lot of energy in the middle of that, though.
Yes, I felt it. Yes, I was a little
So
too slow. I think like it.
go ahead and turn off your other screen so
Hold
we
on a
can get
second.
that off the screen there. But so
Oh.
Alexander, what'd you think? Would you have listed with Edward in real life?
I think so, yeah, because he was very knowledgeable. Obviously, he very engaging. He asked a lot of questions. Um, at the beginning, he was more excited. He was a little bit more energetic. I like that he leans in when he talks. I like that he leans in and speaks directly to you, other than
Yeah.
just sitting there.
I
So
wrote
that
that
was
down.
really good. Again, he asked a lot of questions, and I liked also that he had said one point in time, we can be a teamwork. So that was quite appealing, so yeah, I think, on the whole, yeah, I would have given it to him. I think he did really well on the whole.
So
For
did you
sure.
all get that? When he leans in, that's like shaking your head or doing like this. If you speak softly and lean in, the prospect will lean in also to hear what you have to say. So he did that real well. I thought that was good also. I had that written down. Edward, what did you think?
Yes, absolutely. I try to re-engage. I definitely agree. I even feel myself towards the middle, I kind of lost the energy, right? I tried to pick up and again try to find another angle. Yeah, that I need to pay attention to also. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. I saw on the panel that Dave was almost asleep. Candace Fitzgerald, Fitzgordon, she's anxious. She wants to. You can feel that excitement coming out of her. So what did you think, Candace?
Great job, Edward. Good job, Alexana. And it was, very realistic. Very realistic. So congrats to both of you. I like how you started it off, Edward. And I like that, when you were looking around the house and you started speaking with her, it was very engaging. And you asked, what is your favorite part of the home? And she told you, I love the kitchen because it dot, dot, dot. And you said the next buyer will love that feature. And I like that you didn't fight with her on when she was giving you pushback. You incorporated it into your presentation to put her at ease. And I love the energy when you said, I'm ready to work for you. Are you ready to put me to work? And that was your one of your first closes, and she's like, well, I'm gonna meet with another agent. And you continue to show your value. And I think that you got lost on focusing on the list price and you were stuck at that number. And I think it was an opportunity missed because she kept referring that I'm going to meet with another agent. I'm going to meet with another agent. A simple question, what will it take for us to do business today? You know, to see what's holding her up. Why isn't she making that decision right now? You know? Um, so, but I like that you came back at the end and you're like, well, trust your gut. Let's do the right thing. All right, let's sign here. And you got it. So congratulations. I learned so much.
There you
Thank
go.
you so much. Thank you so
Great
much for the
feedback.
input. I like that. Great feedback.
Great feedback. That's a good question. So what's it going to take to make this happen, guys? Seth, how'd you feel about that? You got laryngitis, Seth. Somewhere you're on mute. There
you
you are.
talking to me?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? I just lost you for a second. My audio went out. What was the question? Or what did you say?
So how did you feel about it? How did you feel about Ed's presentation overall?
I thought overall it was great. It was very realistic. I have a lot of questions, but I was trying to come out of my comfortable shell, hearing you where you were just relentless, and that relentlessness, obviously paid off in this situation. I sometimes get a little uncomfortable in those situations where I don't want to push that much. But then I already had my rebuttal. If a seller said to me, "Why are you so pushy?" My rebuttal would have been, "Well, do you want a passive agent who's not going to be pushy to try to sell your property? You want somebody to just sit back there and accept, chill out, don't be pushy, don't sell." So I really thought that was a great job. My one of the big questions that I did have was, and I would appreciate feedback on this, is that when you start at a lower price, I understand the whole excitement and, like a car auction and things like that. But when you're low going in, let's say you don't get that auction type of momentum, and you realize, oh shoot, I am too low. It's hard to go up. You can go down, but it's hard to go back up. That was one of my concerns that, when I heard that. The other thing was that when she asked you, what are you going to do to sell the property? You were really, from my perspective, you were focused on making the phone calls, which is great. But what about everything else? There's so many more things. I don't believe you said anything about open houses. You didn't mention anything about online marketing, social media. Your home will be on the Zillow and the all these websites. I didn't hear any of that. Is that something you intentionally leave out, or you just didn't include it now?
Oh, actually, great question. So let me answer the first question about the pricing. So the pricing, I feel in this case, right, it's not really a low. It's actually it's a realistic pricing based on the whole neighborhood. So actually, I kind of caught myself also. That's why towards the end of the conversation, I just emphasized it's not low, but it's a risk market price, right? In order to price to sell. But sometimes, like to answer your question, sometimes it does happen like you price too low. But in this case, I want to price fair. At one point, because that neighborhood is a very attractive neighborhood, Willow Glen in San Jose, it has a lot of coffee shops, has a lot of restaurants. So yeah, with that price is absolutely you can track a lot of
Yeah, and
offers.
also the
Yes.
question that you asked, Edward,
Yes.
about what's your timing?
Yes.
And I know a lot of agents don't ask that question, but that question is so key because, there are sellers who will say, yeah, you know what, if I sell it, I sell it. If I don't, I don't. But when you're dealing with a seller who's on a strict timeline, like Alexana was saying, listen, I need to get to Florida, then we as agents, I believe, we have to be extremely aggressive to sell the property. Where that strategy, could really apply and be successful.
That's right. That's why I always circle back to her motivation since she wanted to be Florida a month ago already. So that's why I keep circling back to her motivation. Also, to answer your second question regarding what I do differently as an aggressive agent, you're absolutely right. I could have incorporated a little more into my comeback, right? Instead of just focusing on making phone calls, I should have do something else. Hey, online marketing and this because everybody is likes different things. You're absolutely right. So I'm writing this down also. So yeah, making sure that I don't leave any opportunity on the table when I market myself. Absolutely. This is a good point.
Here's an answer to that question. You can never price the property too low. Okay, you can't do it. The market will adjust it. I mean, if it's too low, it'll be bid back up to the market price. You can overprice a property, but you can't underprice a property. So, so based on the motivation, we need the price to fit the motivation. So if you need a 2-week price, a 2-week sale, you have a 2-week price. And as far as the other stuff, was this an expired?
Yes, it is expired, correct.
Right, that's real simple. What did the other agent do? Did he do open houses? Well, we know the result of that. So I'm not going to do the open houses. I'm going to do the opposite of whatever that agent did because we want the opposite results, don't we? Yes. And then you go, yes. And if you'll do that, you don't have to go into everything you're going to do. Only if they are asked real specific do you pull things out. But too many times people pull it out when they don't need it. And so you overload with information, you overload the seller. So if she's not asking about what specifically you're going to do every day, then don't tell her. You just tell her, look, we're going to do the opposite of whatever they did because we want the opposite results, don't we? Okay, so you want to get to Florida. I have a great agent in Florida. You sort of forgot the referral there. You mentioned it a little bit. You're going to be buying something in Florida.
That's right.
But pick up that referral. That's 30%, guys. Don't ever forget that. And some great agents, so, if you have great agents in Florida in this group, send that referral to them. And then they'll only help you. So after we sign the contract tonight, Edward, I'm going to get her on the line. We're going to have this great agent of mine help us find the property that you need in Florida. So, do assumptive closes and stuff like that. But yeah, close them.
That's a great point. Really questioning the seller. What did the agent do for you? Many times I speak to a seller, they'll say, I don't know. I don't know what they did. I know they didn't sell my house. So yeah, if you could hone in on that, where they might come to you and say, well, they only did one open house. And there's your intro. Well, we do a lot more than that. And so that's a great point. Thanks.
But the results of an open house, they're the lowest return on the time investment. So the lowest activity, the least skill. Really think about it. What's it take to hold an open house? Your average agent says, here's a flyer. There's some donuts in the back. I'll be up here if you have any questions. And they let them roam the house. Oh my gosh. So if you're going to do it, ask some qualifying questions. Look, I promised the seller that only ready, willing, and able buyers will come through the house. So what lender have you been qualified? Do you need a loan or are you paying cash? If you're paying cash, where's the money? Question those people before you let them in the house.
One of the things that I've used and it really worked for open houses, believe it or not, we try to do open houses on our listings every single weekend. Why? Because buyers come through without agents, and if they're not going to buy your property, you can help them buy another one, which has proven successful, at least for us. That works.
Every now and then you'll sell some, but I think you guys are too good of agents to do that. I think that you should take your weekends and use them for better things like your family or whatever. But if you can focus on prospecting every week, you don't need to hold the open houses. See, because when you're showing your client every night, hey, look, I called 50 people around your neighborhood, and your neighbors told them, oh yeah, that Ron, he calls me all the time. That's what they want to hear. The only reason they really wanted to see an open house is because they don't see that you guys are doing anything else. See, they don't see what you do every day. So an open house, the seller says, well, at least I can see you're doing something. And in their mind, they think it's productive when it's one of the least productive uh, activities that an agent can do. If you track it, you'll find you'll make a lot more money, a lot more listings, a lot more sales by prospecting consistently. But some people do real good with them. I did them, but then I learned through Mike Ferry, it was too much time. It's too much for the amount of people you get through that are qualified and ready, able to buy a house. I'd rather be prospecting and looking for those people and qualifying. But so David, I saw you.
Yeah.
I saw you there, rubbing your eyes. I was like, "Oh, Dave's almost asleep." What did you think?
No. I thought it was an interesting call. And Edward, I'm gonna send you a filet mignon steak because you go after that meat and you don't let go. I mean,
Thank you.
hats off to you.
Appreciate it.
No, in all seriousness, I thought it was a good call. I liked the way in the beginning you said something like, if we fit each other, I don't take every listing. And I think I use that and it seems to help because frankly, I don't want every listing that I find. And so that was great. The other thing that I don't know the right answer here. If I were in your shoes, when you got her down twice, I think on price,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I would have approached that in a couple of different meetings. In other words, knowing that that the house needs to be at 1.6 or whatever the number was.
Mm-hmm.
I think the jump from where she was to where you ended up in real life, I don't know, with another realtor coming in and the way the market is tight, I don't know that she would have in real life. She might have just not not responded well. So I think I would have said, okay, 1 set or whatever that number she went to first. I'd have said, yeah, let's list at that and get her to commit, knowing that when we go to sign the paperwork, I would take a very, very good CMA into her and say, look, we agreed to this, but I went through and did further research, and here's the number that I really think. And then if she doesn't lower it, you've said it so that in the 4 week come back and say we got to lower the price. You're covered. But otherwise, I thought it was a great call, and Alexia is very well. You should go to Hollywood. It was very good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good
Yeah,
feedback.
Alexander.
Good feedback.
I have
Yeah,
a
thank
question
you.
for Edward.
Yes.
I don't know if I heard you incorrectly, but I thought I heard you say to Alexana, let me call the other agent who she was going to meet.
Yes.
What was that about?
Okay, because she told me that she was going to meet another agent, right? Because and then she need to consider. So again, I would just want her to know that I'm so confident, right? That first of all, I can sell her home. But a lot of time, sellers are very reluctant to cancel appointment because they don't know how to say no to another agent because they already booked it. So as part of my service, I would do the call for her, say, hey, by the way, I have your listing. Bye bye.
Wow.
He takes that burden off her shoulders. See, and he
Yeah, the
says,
burden,
he
exactly.
says, I'll take that burden off your shoulders and I'll make the call and cancel that appointment. Meanwhile, what is it you specifically need to hear, Alexana, from what were you thinking you were going to hear from that other agent that I haven't answered? So what's the question in your mind that I still need to answer for you to feel comfortable to sign this contract?
Actually, this is a good point. I should have asked that specifically. I kind of say that, but didn't say very clearly to her to pinpoint that. This is a great input. And right there, yeah, I need to ask her directly. Yeah.
Yes. Candice.
Dave's question? No, Seth's question. That's a great segue to not only call the other agent, but let them know they're welcome to bring a buyer so they can still
Absolutely.
benefit from the sale.
Right. You can say, and here's what I'm going to say. Do you want to hear what I'm going to tell the other buyer? You know, if, hey, you went ahead and listed with me. I was just calling you as a courtesy, but I'm going to give you a bonus if you bring the first buyer that makes a successful transaction. I'll give you $500 out of my own commission if you bring it. So bring your buyers. They never will, but you're offering to even give them a bonus to bring their buyers to that property. But I was just calling you today, Edward, to let you down easy. So it's a favorite part of my business, actually, to do that. When you do that, guys, when you call those other agents, because you're going to be in competition with the same agents pretty much. When they hear time after time after time that you got in and listed the property, guess what? They get frustrated. They get, I didn't want that property anyways, and sometimes they won't even show up if they see that they're going to interview you also. So I have had that. There's one guy, he's actually a Vulcan guy. I see him every now and then from Albuquerque that was one of my main competition, and he'd get so mad that he just wouldn't even show up because I'd call him and say, hey, you know what? I have that listing appointment too. I'm before you. So, you know, but I did it just to get under his skin, you know? So, and then my ex-business partner, the same thing, because we were all trained by Mike Ferry. So we were all calling the same group, but I knew I could blow away my business partner because he had no energy, you know, and he was boring. So those were my favorite calls, guys. But Yuki, I love hearing from Yuki.
I was just typing. It was a great presentation. It was very real, and she got you working. Edward, you did a great job. Now, I wrote down a lot of things here, and two things that stand out the most is I create opportunities, and list price is tool to attract buyers. And you keep going back to the value, her motivation, which made the price drop significantly from, I think you guys started at 1.75 to settle down at 1.6.
We started with 1.8.
1.8. So the way how you said it and what you said really brought down the price. And I thought that was really good. It was really great presentation. Good job.
Thank you, Yuki. Yeah,
I
you know,
watching it.
the listing price, you know, the tool again is the benefit of joining this group, right? Because I stole that line from Ron a long time ago, right? So I keep using it, and also Alexana really prepared, you know, gave me a lot of opportunity to overcome it. I think this is great. Yeah, she's a great seller.
You asked me to be tough. You're
Absolutely.
like,
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I enjoy every bit of that. It's absolutely.
I love that. You came in there, you weren't afraid, and you're like, give it to me, and you know, you handled it. So that was great. Kudos to you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Put in the chat that I think I was sweating more than Edward because I didn't think he was gonna get the listing signed. But he maintained great composure the entire time, and he got the signature. So way to go.
So just FYI, no, Ron knew this. I did this presentation. This is my third time, right, Ron?
Yes.
This is my third time, and so starting March of this month, I read the script once a day. This is my commitment. I think, and I saw the benefits of that also. Absolutely. I just read myself, I made a commitment just once a day. No matter how busy it is, just you know, takes me, it's Mike Ferry's script, probably takes me 15 minutes to read through this. And this becomes a part of my non-negotiable now.
Yes.
And even I read it myself, I can feel the difference as I first picked up a year ago, right? Like even it's all words, nothing complicated, but when I read it, just stumble. But the more you read, is definitely the better you will get. And I hope I will getting better. Thanks to all of you help. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, you did a great job. Yeah, when you know that script and dialogue, he owned that price. You notice how he didn't even flinch when she was saying, "Well, I want a higher price," and he just kept going back to the motivation and sticking with his price. See, I own the price, and I'll tell you that, and I'll say no. Here's why. And that's how I would do it. But he was real soft in that. And he would just bring her in and bring her in. And she was dropping each time she suggested a price. He was getting a little more chunk off of there, little more. But yes, you can't overprice. I mean, you can't underprice the property. But I believe if you're the pro, go in with your price. And here's why. This we know what price it didn't sell at. Let's start there. So no matter what happened, your agent couldn't bring himself to lower the price to you. Alexana, I have that strength. I have that confidence that we can get your home sold. But unfortunately, you wasted 6 months and you don't have that time to waste anymore. So you want to get it sold, correct? And do that. And she'll start. So that's why I strongly suggest a price of this. And we're basing it on these 3 comps. Do you have any questions other than that? She said her features and her what was it? Your finishes were great. Look, I can appreciate that. That'll help it to sell. But see, the bank considers a finish, whether you have paint or you have marble. A bank's going to consider, the appraisal's going to consider that's all the same. So you have floor-to-floor carpet. It could be $100 a square foot or $5 a square foot. It's wall-to-wall carpet to a bank. So it's easier to sell the prospect than it is to sell the appraiser. So always remember that and use that in your presentation. I appreciate that. And the buyers will love it, but it's the bank that we really have to be concerned with because 99% of the people have to get a loan. So
actually, that's a good point to use also when you overcome the price objection is using a appraiser. That's absolutely a great point.
Right. Anything else, guys? I sent you a little survey. You see there it says in the chat, quick survey. You can click on that, and it's just a 2-question survey. And it's basically, what do you think personality-wise you are, what style, and what's your hardest objection out of the 4 top ones? If you guys wouldn't mind clicking on that, that'd be great. I don't know if you see it there. Do you see it?
I submitted mine.
It's a what?
I already submitted mine.
Oh, great.
When you sent it out.
Fantastic. Yeah, I had sent it out to several people this morning, but for some reason it didn't pop up as a survey so I put it in the chat. But thank you. Yeah, that'll help us out, kind of see what everybody's having the problem with, as far as which objection is the worst. What did you put, Candace?
I'm going to think about it.
Yeah.
I want to think about it. I think you had
That's the hardest one, the objection. I want to think about it.
Yeah, same as mine.
Is that yours too?
Yes. A lot of time when I prospect, right, the little they say makes it very hard, right? The more they say, more objection give it to me, I can use it. But if they say no, not interested, 1 word or 2 words, that's very hard.
Yes. The less they say is the hardest. So if they want to think about it, great, let's talk about that. 3 heads are better than 2. So let's think out loud together. What is it specifically that you need to think about? What question have I not answered in your mind that I need to answer today? And hopefully they'll tell you. And if they say, well, we just want to think about it, we don't sign anything till we think about it overnight. Say, fantastic. Here's what we'll do. We'll sign the contract now, and I'll call you in the morning and see if you want to activate it. And you'd be amazed how many people, okay, then call me in the morning. You say, absolutely. If I don't get the go from you, we won't go. But we're wasting another day. So let's get the go so we can get you gone to Florida. Right? Candace, what was your personality style?
I think analytical.
Analytical?
Yeah.
Edward, what about yours?
I think so. I'm between a combination of analytical and amiable.
Okay, see, I don't agree with the combination stuff. If you're thinking a combination, you're an analytical.
Okay. Oh
You
yeah.
see,
Okay, that's a good point.
I have
That's a
people
good.
tell me all the time, "Oh, I'm a driver, and here's 10 reasons why." Well, then you're an analytical, right? So you can't be standing or sitting. That's what Mike Ferry used to tell me all the time. You can't stand and sit at the same time. You're either doing one or the other. So I think there's 4 types. Each person falls within, those one of those 4 types. I don't think there's more analyticals than drivers. I don't think there's more, expressives than amiables. I think you fall into one category.
Right.
And some people say, well, if you're under stress, you lean. Well, no, because then you're an analytical because you're having to think about it.
Right. Ron, I have a quick question. Speaking of for personality, I know Mike Ferry is very big on that, right? And he learned from Mike Vance also on that. Do you have any suggestions how can we to study more about personality and
Yeah.
in the resources?
What Mike Ferry taught me was go to become versatile. So most people will only see a movie that they like of this genre, or they'll only go to a concert of this type. Start going to multiple. Even if you'd never go to a rap concert, maybe go to one. You know what I mean? Or a rock concert or whatever. Open your mind to expose it to these other forms of music, forms of art, forms of expression, and that will help you spot it and be more versatile, being able to work with those people. You see what I mean? So an analytical in me, it's like eye bleeding to me. And because I just want, get the pictures, get the thing signed, get it signed. What's taking so long? What is it in your mind that I need to go, So, but I can't do that, right? So sometimes I have to sit back, take a breath, and listen to their story, and then close them again, and sometimes the stories go on forever, don't they? So, you just want to, okay, I understand that. I can appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get it signed and then use the close. You used it. Do you think I can sell your property, Edward?
Yes.
Okay, then sign the contract and let me get started. I need you to sign it so I can go to work. Put me to work now. All right, that's all there. Alexana, anything else?
No, that's it. I think, this was a great, learning lesson, I think, for everyone. So, yeah, thank you, Ed. You brought a lot to, for me to add to my presentations.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. You give it to me. It's really, and it's
Well, you asked for it.
yeah, no, I did ask for. I enjoyed every bit of it. I mean, I need the practice, right? I know, David also about the last my dog the last $25,000. I actually seriously on my mind. I kind of hesitate a little bit. Maybe in the real life, may have accepted, right? Just sign up first and then come back because 25 in this neighborhood, in this my market, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a huge difference.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but
in real life, yeah.
Yeah, but I just want to take advantage of this opportunity to practice to see how much I have in me to plow through. And thank you for working with me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know.
I think in real life, I probably, I don't know if a seller would accept that, but I agree with you. Like you'll say what you said. But yeah, I mean, it's good that you kept going that way. You can, you practice like, okay, how far can I go or what am I going to say? So
let me ask you, man, that seems to be a theme. In real life, it's more realistic. To be honest, I never get objections. I really don't.
Wow.
Okay, I go in there and if you make a strong presentation, something that wows them, they don't have any problem signing on the dotted line. And a lot of times they have it signed before I even get there because I send it all to them. But the truth is, you can make a strong presentation and not get any objections. Wow, I've done it hundreds of times. In fact, the majority of mine don't have objections. Wow. So that's why when I do these and you're saying the common theme is it's more realistic, The objections come because you're weak somewhere in your presentation. You know, it's because they're questioning something you did or didn't say. So what you want to do is grab hold of them and don't let them go till it's signed. You know, and you did it very softly. I do it a lot more direct, and you know, but either way, the end result is you get it signed. But I want you guys to know that you can get skilled enough where you don't get objections.
Well, I want to be like you when I grow up.
Well, let me ask you, if you knew the property wasn't going to sell at 165, would you hold on just a sec, Candace, would you take it or not? Say, if I wouldn't take it, I would just say, no, that's not going to happen. You know, so if you want to get it sold, you know, I'm telling you the truth. Do you want to hear the truth, or do you want to hear, you know, what a lousy agent will tell you? You know, well, you won't take it at this. No, I'd rather walk. I can't afford listings not to sell. Do you see what I mean? So go ahead, Candace.
That objection is one I actually get when I'm calling, when I'm prospecting, not so much in person.
But you don't answer that on the phone.
When they say, "Oh, we want to think about it."
Man, I could appreciate that. What is it exactly you want to think about if you answer that? Or I would say, I'm so glad you brought that up. That'll be the first thing we talk about when we get together tomorrow at 3 or today at 4, which is better for you. And just so you know, my presentation only takes 5 minutes. Right? But you can handle that either with a question, you know, I appreciate that. What is it specifically? You know, and then you'll hopefully get something out of them. But most of the time, you don't want to answer any questions over the phone. You just want to say, I'm so glad you brought that up. That's one of the best questions you can ask. And I'll answer that when we get together today at 3 or tomorrow at 4, which is better. So keep going at me at that.
Me?
Yeah, so you're on the phone and you don't like what I just said. So what do you say? What do you hear?
I'm not sure where to pick up, but you said that's one of the first things we'll discuss when we meet.
Right. And so so you would probably say, well, I don't want to meet with you. Why won't you tell me? Say that. Why won't you tell me over the phone?
Why won't you tell me over the phone?
I'm so glad you asked that. See, I'm a professional agent. Did the last agent who couldn't sell your home, did he explain things over the phone? See, I don't do that. I make a presentation because I'm a pro. I'm a professional agent. But just so you know, my presentation only takes 5 minutes. So 3 or 4 tomorrow, which is better for you.
Well, I'm just gonna wait till summer.
Oh my gosh, if that cost you thousands of dollars, are you saying if it cost you thousands of dollars, you'd wait? I mean, you were on the market yesterday, Candace.
Yeah, well, my agent said it's just not a good time right now.
Oh my gosh, again, the agent that couldn't sell the home. Are you kidding? You're going to keep taking that advice? He couldn't sell the home.
Okay, I guess I'll make 5 minutes to hear what you have to say.
Great. I appreciate that. I'll see you tomorrow at 3. Is that good?
Okay,
All
that's fine.
So, yes, guys, when they say my agent or the market's bad, who told them that? Yuki knows this. I tell her that all the time. Who told her that? The agent. So it's always the agent, guys. You know that. If he priced it right, if he guided them through the market, it would have sold. But if you hesitate, it's not going to sell and you're going to have an expired listing. Yeah. So sometimes it's a real hard phone call to say, hey, look, we got to drop this price and we got to drop it majorly. So we can either stay on the market or not. But if you want it sold, we got to drop the price. So that's a hard phone call for a lot of people to make. But if you don't make it, you're just going to beat a dead horse. You're not going to make the sale. So it's better not to have the listing. Sound good? All right, you guys are great as usual.
That's a good mindset to have, though, because, you know, you go in there not, you know, so afraid to say no to a listing, you know, so whatever it takes, and then you end up taking overpriced listing. So it's a real good mindset to know that it's okay for me to not take this listing.
Yes, great agents take a lot of listings, or good agents take a lot of listings, but great agents take listings. They know when to walk away from the listing. They know they could take it, but why take it if it's not going to sell? Are you really going to pick up a buyer off it or just to have more signs? No, you're better off to not have a listing that won't sell. So yes, you're a great agent when you can recognize when to say, I'm sorry, I don't want to waste any more of your time, but at that price, it's not for me. It's not going to happen. If you're willing, when they see you're willing to walk away, I mean, their attitude changes a lot of times. What do you mean? You don't want it? No, not at that price. It won't sell. And you can say it didn't sell last time. Do you want to have the same results? It's not going to do it. I'm a super broker, but I need it reasonably priced. Okay. So we need to get it. That's why I own the price. I tell them, look, I feel strongly about this price. And that's what the price usually will sell at. But don't be afraid to say I was wrong. Hey, Alexander, I want to apologize to you. I didn't think the market would turn as fast as it did. I need to come back and get a price reduction, or it's not going to sell. And if you told me, well, I don't want to do that, just say, well, then I can't take the listing. So when you have the skills of getting on the phones and finding new clients, you can find a new client every day. So, okay. I'll see you guys on Jim's call.
Very good. Thank you, Ron. Thanks,
Thank you.
Alexana,
Thank you.
everybody.
This was great. Great conversation.
Great. Thank you. Ron, please send me the recording, please. I need
Yes,
that.
I will.
Thank
Thank
you so
you, Ed.
much. I appreciate it.
You bet. Bye.
Bye-bye.